Mm. Hello, everyone. I am Namika Parker, the General Manager of Access Link. Thank you for joining us for the first Access Link Customer Forum since 2019. Before we continue with the presentation, I wanted to mention that the recording will be posted on our YouTube channel, the NJT YouTube channel. The transcript and or notes will be available upon request. Let's continue. Welcome to the 2023 Access Link Customer Forums. I'm calling this the Forums of First, as this is my first time presenting at the forums as the General Manager. For many of my team members, this is their actual first New Jersey Transit Access Link Forum. This is the first hybrid forum we've ever held, the first time here in Linden, the first time in this location. So I mentioned all of those details to say this is new. We ask for grace and patience from everyone as we venture into this new digital space. We are trying new things in the name of inclusion, improvement, and growth. So let me start by thanking the Access Link team. We are a small but mighty group, and you folks are the unsung heroes of paratransit in New Jersey. So we get it right way more than we are often given credit for. And that's okay. But I want each and every one of you guys and gals to remember the importance of you and your ability to positively impact the customer. A hearty thank you to the Recreation Center employees for allowing us to use this space and also assist us as we host this event today. Finally, a huge thank you to the New Jersey Transit Access Link staff that's on site and back at the office, making sure things go as planned. We are here today to update you on what we've been working on and the challenges we are actively trying to solve. A few reminders. You do not have to wait until these once a year events to send us feedback. You can reach out to customer service all year long by either emailing them at adaservices at njtransit.com or calling 973 491 4224, option 5. We are happy to discuss the topics in the presentation. However, we cannot respond to personal incidents or certain questions in this public space as it may reveal your personal information or someone else's private information. We do have staff here that can take down your information in question and follow up with you offline. We will do our absolute best to give an appropriate response when possible, but only after everyone has given their feedback and comments. Ultimately, we are here to listen to you. The agenda. We've already covered the welcome. We'll get into some stats and numbers, current challenges, responses and remedies, aka corrective actions in the pipeline, new policies, pilots, technology, feedback and comments from the public. After this presentation, there will be a short break for the ASL interpreter. If the customer comment portion of the event goes beyond an hour, we will take another short break. So for the viewers and people joining virtually, feel free to send your comments to ada@njtransit.com or via chat, which I believe is turned on. So on the left of the slide is an overview of the Access Link management team. These folks have an impressive amount of knowledge. Many, including myself, have been in the industry or with Access Link for over 2 decades. So when I call your name, department, group, or company, please just stand up and stay standing for a moment. Adam Katz, the Assistant General Manager of Contracts. Hugo Perez, on a much needed vacation, is the Assistant General Manager of Operations. Shiva is the director of IT, ADA, and Light Rail. So he's supporting us and Light Rail. Rhonda Banks, the director of operations. Chris Tucker, the director of customer experience. Roberto Rios, director of contract accountability. Lauren Williams, director of contract administration. Miguel Castaneda, director of scheduling and analysis. Althea Branch, the longtime manager of customer service and outreach. Kelly Douglas, the manager of certification. Briseida Ortiz, the manager of finance. Makia Penix, service monitor and support manager. Kalila Gordon, manager of reservations. And here on the right are our two service providers, TransDev, formerly First Transit, and Eastern Coach Company. Here are the regions that they cover with the appropriate counties as well. So, round of applause to you folks, and thank you all, and please have a seat. So, some Access Link stats. Customers, there are currently over 70,000 customers eligible to ride Access Link, an increase of almost 8% up from the previous period. Certifications, we have processed over 5,200. That is up from 3,500 the previous year. Trips, 1.3 million trips were completed, which is an increase of 11%. This increase is attributable to customers returning to Access Link as part of recovery from the pandemic. Also, the loss of services by other transportation providers, such as school bus companies. Vehicles. Our fleet is a mix of different vehicle types, totaling about 550. So that's buses, sedans, and vans. Operators. We have almost 600 drivers. Calls. Over 900,000 calls were answered, an increase of 17%. Reservation calls alone increased by 22%. Web trips. So far this year, 305,000 trips were booked using the web. So there are 37,000 customers online. 24,000 of them are active users. Easy Wallet. We have approximately 4,000 customers with Easy Wallet accounts. TNCs, over 47,000 trips with over 3,500 customers have opted into the program. And OTP was 84% statewide. Customer service stats. Outreach, like everything else, has increased. When we are invited to attend, participate, or present to various groups on many topics, we show up. Our traditional outreach team, they come out, they talk about accessible services as it relates to New Jersey Transit's entire system, including rail, bus, light rail, and Access Link. So we've held over 60 outreach events, took over 9,000 complaints, and received 1,400 commendations. Challenges. The proverbial elephant in the room, right? We operate in the transportation industry, and like many of our peers and other industries, the persistent nationwide shortage is still prevalent. So let me expand on that thought. There is a talent pipeline shortage of skilled transit workers and qualified applicants. And to add to that, other service providers going out of business or reducing their service is having a direct impact on our spikes in demand. Other complaint trends are scheduling inefficiencies, long onboard times, hold times when calling, and issues with staff, specifically frontline staff, and that could be an agent or an operator. So, what are we doing about these things? I'm so happy you asked. Rome was not built in a day, and I'm sure it wasn't cleaned up in a day either. Meaning that paratransit, this industry as we know it, must change, and it will take time to implement these massive and drastic changes. This is a streamlined and highly oversimplified list of top priorities and tasks that are in various stages of analysis, design, planning, implementation, testing, and updating. So I'll go through the list. In regards to on-time performance, new standards. These come directly from the DOJ settlement agreement and pertain to trip and telephone performance. Restructuring the entire paratransit system. We are looking at everything and the effectiveness of everything like our service provider contracts, our services, our policies are under review. Policy changes. We give customers an abundant amount of notification and time to adjust to the changes. We strive to over communicate what's coming down the pike. So please keep your contact information updated as there will be more policy changes, more procedure changes coming in the near and foreseeable future. Scheduling inefficiencies. So, updating our system and processes. We're incorporating more booking options like appointment time booking. We are scheduled to begin internal testing and customer testing this fall. This will be rolled out very slowly and very deliberately. PNCs, this is in pilot phase. A little more on this will later. And these have been working quite well, and we are looking to adjust in order to expand the pilot statewide. Long onboard times. So we're trying to have fewer customers on the ride, so less sharing. Want to expand the Rider's Choice pilot. We're also in the middle of identifying the pilot groups. So more on that also in a moment. Long hold times. More reservation tools, as mentioned before. One such thing is booking using the IVR or the thinking machine. Yes, artificial intelligence, folks. Also, the reservationists now have a voicemail. So you can call and leave a voicemail for a callback during midday. You don't have to hold on to reserve a ride. There's the web, the app, and the digital reservation form that are readily available at all times. Reviewing operation hours for telephone staff. We are looking to see are those hours that we're open working. Onboarding more staff. This is an ongoing top priority, but I will say, full disclaimer, the struggle is real. Um, Everyone is trying to build a better team and attract and retain top talent. So it's really competitive out here, and it's an interesting job market right now. I'll leave it at that. Staff complaints, finally. More training for staff, as well as more training and education resources for our customers. Um, Staff training will focus on de escalation, conflict resolution, and empathy. Customer education will focus on the guidelines and how to fully use their travel options and other tools. So, oftentimes, customers are just unaware of what we can and can't do. The more we all know, the better these interactions can go. I do want to highlight two things New Jersey Transit just started, two initiatives. One is the alternate backup or contingency plan, which is the ABCs, where they encourage customers to have contingency travel plans if their preferred travel method has a service disruption. The other is Ride Kind, which encourages a culture of civility and respect throughout the transit system. So we are a part of that system, and frontline staff, the telephone responsive folks, and the operators are essential, valuable, and deserve respect while assisting the public. And I just think that bears repeating time and time again, and even more. So, next slide. Policy. Service infraction policy was implemented and went into effect July 1st, 2023. We began sending out letters to customers explaining the new policy. And here's a little bit of that new policy. So each time a customer accumulates at least two service infractions in a calendar month, they will be sent an infraction warning letter. The monthly warning letter is intended to notify the customer that they have started to accumulate service infractions. Customers who continue this pattern of accumulating and receiving infractions within a calendar month will become candidates for suspension. And when the following two conditions are met, they will be suspended. Uh, you have to book at least 10 rides in a calendar month. This ride count consists of performed trips, rides access link missed, any ride that the customer calls a no show in transit, or a late cancellation. And you have to have accumulated no shows, no show in transit, or late cancellation that amounts to at least 20% of booked rides in the same month. More on the service infraction policy. So, the newest and most significant change to this policy is not just how we calculate who is going to be suspended, it's that we no longer assist with canceling certain trips. For example, before the policy change, if a customer was issued a no show from home in the morning and had other trips scheduled for that day, the afternoon or evening, we would cancel those trips to prevent the customer from accumulating multiple no shows. The customer would only have one no show, and we would reschedule the other trips if needed, if still needed, once the customer called us to update their itinerary. Now, if the customer has more than one trip for the day, the customer will be issued a no-show for every trip they fail to cancel. Each individual trip is treated as its own separate thing. Another policy change coming soon is the end of customer callouts regarding the cancellation of subscription trips on holidays, starting January 1st, 2024. So right now, during holidays, a few holidays, I won't go through the list, we cancel subscription rides. If you work or you need that trip on that holiday, it is up to you to call in and schedule a ride. We will no longer be reminding people to do that. The list of holidays when trips will be canceled will be on our website, sent via My Transit Alerts, possibly emails as well, and reminder messages posted on the telephone lines. Pilots. So I'll talk about the TNCs in a moment. The the Paratransit Improvement Act. We reviewed the applications we received. We are in discussions with ARC Mercer about the evaluation of those applicants. We look to reach out to all valuable applicants within the next few weeks to schedule a site visit where New Jersey Transit and ARC can gauge the organization's ability to successfully complete the pilot and implement best practices. Then we will select and announce the pilot groups. Again, this legislation calls for us, Access Link, to transfer some of our subscription trips to other service providers. Communication to the subscription customers are being drafted as we look for anyone interested in participating in this effort. So, TNCs, Transportation Network Companies. We are working now with Uber and Lyft in regions 2 and 5. Coming soon, Uh, you, the rider, will book directly with the TNC via their app. As with any technology we launch and make available, we support our customers as they use the new tools. We are also still working to onboard TNCs that operate in the space of disability. We would like to expand the pilot to include our non ambulatory and more of our limited mobility riders. So within the coming months, we look to launch and update our policy, procedures, and program for the rider's choice. More on the TNCs. As we've mentioned before, we have created resource materials to explain the pilot and provide answers to all the customer questions we have gotten thus far, available in a few different formats upon request. Most people just really want to know who this pilot is for and how it works. So basically, it's open to any certified Access Link customer with a cell phone. It doesn't have to be smart, just able to receive text messages and calls. It's the rider's choice, and it is up to you to determine if this is a viable option. We strongly recommend you read these two documents, and if you have questions, please contact customer service for more guidance. So, since the start of the program, the customers and their feedback have been instrumental in the success of this pilot and designing it. So, stay tuned for those improvements and changes um, this fall. Technology. So, let's talk about our AI powered IVR, which is just another example of how we are leveraging technology to benefit our customers with disabilities. So, our project with Replicant and its thinking machine. So, a basic IVR works like this: the customer calls in, it goes to the IVR system, which has a few options and features to help the caller, right? If the system can't help the caller, the call is sent to a live agent to handle. So we have some of those components in there, absolutely. But what's different about it is that our IVR learns from the customer and improves from those interactions. So the next interaction is getting better and better. Um, we currently use this tool for cancellations and status checks. If we are now planning to add reservations to this product, with the virtual assistant, customers will be able to book simple reservations to saved addresses and common locations. Some successes are that thousands of calls have been taken by this virtual assistant. The confirmation text you receive after canceling. Users have been rating the experience between 4 and 5 out of 5. The wait time is 0, as the virtual assistant is ready to help. Then there's the NJT Rewards. Access Link is joining the NJT Rewards program. You will earn points that you can redeem for offers at stores, restaurants, and attractions when you pay for your Access Link ride. You choose when and how your points are redeemed. Here's our contact information. When in doubt, reach out. The main number is 973-491-4224. You can follow us on Twitter at NJTransit_AL, the main page at www.njtransit.com, and then also the accessibilities page, www.njtransit.com/accessibilities for updates. My Transit Alerts, visit www.njtransit.com/my transit to sign up for those free alerts. Access Link Online, visit accesslink.com, accesslink.njtransit.com to log into Access Link Online, the website. You'll also be able to see announcements without even logging in. And finally, email customer service at adaservices@njtransit.com. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation for today. There will be a short break. Then we will begin taking customer comments and questions.